Hey guys, it's Olivia and I'm back with another video. So, almost a year ago, I made a video called How to Turn on USB Debugging with a Broken/Black Screen. And that is my most popular video. It has over 160,000 views and counting. It gets about 600 to 800 views every single day. And this video is a part 2. Not necessarily because part 1 is irrelevant. It still works. I'm still getting people commenting almost every single day, thanking me for helping them. So part 1 definitely still works, but obviously no solution is going to work for everybody, and so I'm not saying that this video is going to work for everybody, but maybe it can help more people. So this is a part 2 to that video. So maybe if part 1 didn't work for you, which I highly recommend watching part 1 because it has worked for a lot of people, but if you have watched part 1 and it didn't work for you, then hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that this part 2 will work for you and you can start using your phone even though the screen is broken. So as I said, there is a part 1 to this. Part 1 is more or less free. There are a couple of things that I linked in the description that you can buy for part 1 to make part 1 a little bit easier. However, watch the video. If you've watched the video, you know what I'm talking about. Part 1 doesn't require you to buy things to make it work. So part 1 is free. This is part 2. You're gonna have to spend a little bit of money. It's gonna be under $25, which is a lot cheaper than getting your screen replaced. But money is money, so if you want to check out part 1, I highly suggest it. But this is part 2. So if you have an older Android phone, then it probably uses micro USB. If it does, then you are going to have to buy this dongle right here. If you have one of the new Androids and it uses USB-C, then you're going to have to buy this dongle right here. And so basically, you need to buy one or the other, not both. This one is $11.99 off Amazon, and this one is $19.99 off Amazon. So you need either one or the other, and we are going to use these. And then the other items you probably already have at home, so you don't have to buy them. You are also going to need your phone charger. So that's easy because that came with the box. And you're going to need a USB mouse, which if you have a desktop in your house, you probably have a mouse. And you're going to need an HDMI cable, which is probably already plugged into your TV. So just plug it out of your TV box and use that one instead. So to recap, you need one of the two dongles, depending on which one your phone uses. You need a mouse, your charger, and your HDMI cable. And now I'm going to show you how these work. So now I am just kneeling in my living room in front of my TV, and as you can see it says check signal cable, and that's because nothing is plugged in. But our TV is what we are going to use in order to see our phone screen so that we can turn on USB debugging. And one thing I want to mention before you buy either of these dongles is check if your phone is OTG compatible. So just because your phone uses micro USB doesn't mean that this cord will work. For example, here I have a really old Android phone. It is the Samsung Galaxy Core LTE, and it does take micro USB. This is the micro USB dongle. However, it doesn't fit. It will not go in the phone because this phone is not OTG compatible. So before buying these dongles, go onto Google and type in, is the model of your phone OTG compatible? If yes, you're ready to go. If not, then unfortunately this method will not work for you. But as I said earlier, there is a part 1. This is the part 2. Part 1 can very well work for you, so check out part 1. So the phone that we're going to be using as examples today are these two Samsung Galaxy Note 2s, which both take micro USB, and then I have a Samsung Galaxy S8, which takes USB-C, just to prove that it works with both types of phones. So first we're going to start with the micro USB phones, aka this plastic dongle right here. For this dongle to work, it requires a power source And also I found that it only works if you plug in your objects in a specific order. So that's what I'm going to show you. So first you have your phone. Plug the dongle into the bottom of the phone. Okay? Then you have your charger. The other end should already be plugged into the wall or into a computer or something. So there is a port for that. So we're going to plug that in. Then you need a USB mouse. So we're going to plug that into the dongle. And then you will see that your mouse turns on. You can see the red light from the mouse. And then finally, we are going to plug in the HDMI cord. So one end is plugged into the TV, and then you're going to plug the other end into the bottom of this dongle. And then the phone has now shown up on the TV screen. So I know that it is overexposed, but there is a password on this phone. So that was something that people had questions about in the first video. What do I do if I have a password? Well, this phone has a pattern password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my mouse because there is a cursor on the screen, and I'm going to use my mouse to draw my password. And there we go, the phone is unlocked. And then from this point, all you have to do is turn on USB debugging. So this phone uses, I believe, Android 4.4.2. So this is how you get there from this Android version. You go to apps, you go to settings, and then for some reason it turns horizontal, but that's okay. And then you're gonna go to more, and then you're going to scroll to the bottom. So as you can see, I already have developer options, but you're not gonna have that because your USB debugging hasn't been enabled yet. So then you're gonna click About Device. And then you're going to scroll to build number, and you're gonna click it 7 times. But as you can see, for me, it says I don't have to because I already have it enabled, but you're gonna click it 7 times. Then you're going to go back, and then your developer options will appear. You will click that, and then you will scroll to USB debugging. And as you can see, I already have it checked, but I can uncheck it. Now it's gone. And then I'll check it again. And then you're gonna get this pop-up, and then you're going to click OK, and now your USB debugging is on. So now we're gonna quickly switch to the other Note 2, just so that I can show you something else really quickly. So now I have the other Note 2 plugged in, and as you can see, this phone has a PIN password. So I just wanted to show you that this works with all types of passwords because you can use the mouse to type your password. So with the other phone, it had a pattern password. This one has a PIN password. And let's say you had one where your password was a word per se. Let's say your password was hello, and then a keyboard would show up. Well, then you can use the mouse to click the individual keys on the keyboard. So I'm just going to show you that it works with the PIN password. So I just created a simple password for the sake of this video. So 1111, and then click OK. And then now, as you can see, the phone is unlocked, and then this is running the same Android as the other phone, Android 4.4.2. So then you would go to apps, settings, and go through the steps that we just went through, and then turn on your USB debugging. So now I just unplugged the Note 2, and I'm going to unplug all the other cords from this dongle because we no longer need it, because we are now moving on to the S8, which doesn't use micro SD, it uses USB-C. So we're going to use this dongle. Thankfully, this dongle doesn't require you to have to plug things in a special order. You just plug it in and it works. And also, this dongle does not need a power source, so you are not going to have to plug your charger into this for it to work. So I have the S8, and I am going to plug this here in the bottom. Then I'm going to plug in the mouse. And as you can see, the mouse is on because of the red lights on the bottom. And then I am going to plug in the HDMI cable, and then the phone will show up on the screen. Firstly, sorry for the horizontal blinking lights. It's because I have a camera pointed at a TV, but I hope you can bear with me. This phone does not have a password. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the mouse and we're going to click and drag as our swipe. And now, as you can see, the phone is unlocked. So then all you're gonna do is go through the phone and find your USB debugging settings. This phone runs iOS 9, I believe. So what you're gonna do is go to apps and then go to settings. And I don't know if you can see this, but then you're gonna go to about phone, software information, and then you're going to click the build number 7 times. You're going to go back twice, and then you're going to see developer mode options, and then you're going to turn on USB debugging. So with every version of Android, it is slightly different. For some, you might have to go into an extra folder, but basically what you need to do is find your about phone, and then you need to find your build number, and then click it 7 times in order to unlock your developer mode options. And then when you go into your developer mode options, you're going to turn on USB debugging. So I just showed you 4.4, and then this other phone runs 9.0. So if for your phone, it's a slightly different way to get to USB debugging, let's say you just followed what I just said and then you didn't find it, what you're gonna wanna do is go onto YouTube and type in how to turn on USB debugging and then type in your phone model, and then just follow that video, and now you can see your screen and operate your phone, and then follow that, and then you'll turn on USB debugging. Now I'm going to show you why turning on USB debugging is helpful, although you probably already know that because you want to turn it on and you know why you want to turn it on, but I'm just going to show you one of the things you can use once you have turned on USB debugging. So now I am in my room and I'm just sitting at my desktop because this is the computer that I have Visor downloaded on. So Visor is a program that you can download onto your computer that you can use to see your phone screen. So we had our little dongles and we hooked it up to the TV, and that's good and all, but it's like, do you want to do that every single time? Like, what if somebody in your house is watching the TV and you're like, nah, sorry, you can't watch the TV because I want to use my cell phone, right? So that's not the most convenient thing ever. So right now I'm sitting at my computer and now I'm going to show you my screen. So this is what it looks like, and this is the Visor program, and then it says that no device is found, make sure Android USB debugging is enabled, because right now here is the phone that we're going to use and it is not currently plugged in. So this is the phone that I used in the original video in part 1, and as you can see, when I click the side button, these 2 lights come on, so you know that the phone is on, but the screen is not working. So I'm going to take this charger right here and I'm going to plug in the phone, and then we're going to look at the computer, and there we go, the phone showed up. So if I click view, it's connecting to the phone. And here we have the phone, and so now we can just use the mouse and type in our PIN. Ooh. Clicked 4 times, then click OK, and then here we are in the phone. And so this is a lot more convenient, just plugging in your phone and having Visor open and then viewing it, instead of having your dongle and plugging everything in the correct order and having to be on your living room floor trying to operate your phone. And another reason why people want to be able to see and operate their phone is because they want to get the files off of it. So if I go to my computer, and as you can see on the side here, it has my phone and the files are visible. That actually doesn't have anything to do with USB debugging. That actually has to do with the way your phone is read. Like, have you set it up to charging only when you plug it into your computer, or have you set it up for file transfer? So if we go back over to the phone, if we scroll down from the top, ooh, that's not what I wanted to open. If we scroll down from the top, you will see this right here, which is showing how the phone is connected. So if I click this, on this particular phone, I have these two options. So I have media device MTP and camera PTP. So you want your phone to be connected as a media device, which makes it so that you can transfer your photos. Like this one, the other one is the camera option, so I guess it would do the same thing, but this is an old version of Android. With the new version of Android, I believe you have charging only, file transfer, media transfer, and all this stuff. So whichever phone you have, you're gonna wanna scroll down from the top and then find your file transfer, which is going to be able to transfer all your files. And then you'll be able to see all the folders in my computer. So in the first video that I made, when I was talking about taking screenshots to view your phone, some people were saying they couldn't view their screenshots and they thought it was because of USB debugging. And USB debugging has nothing to do with your screenshots. That has to do with how your phone is read when you plug it into your computer. So now if you have USB debugging on and you still weren't able to see your folders on your phone, then you plug your phone into your computer, operate it using Visor, scroll down from the top, and then you will see your USB settings, and then change it to file transfer and or media transfer, and then your folders will show up in your phone, and then you will be able to get everything off your phone. So yeah, that is this video. I know that it was kind of long, but I just wanted to show you everything because there were, I wouldn't say flaws, but were some things that didn't get mentioned in part one, so I wanted to mention it in this part, like how in part one, what if your phone has a password, because the phone that I was using didn't have a password on it, so I wanted to answer that in this week's video, how to solve that. And since you're going to be using an HDMI, you're going to be able to see your phone screen, so you can see your password on your phone, and then you can use the mouse to type your password. So I really hope that this resolves the issues for a lot of people. So that was one of the issues with passwords, and the second one was people weren't able to access their phone because they didn't have the right USB setting for when their phone was plugged into their computer. So I have resolved both of those things. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below. I might even make a part 3 to this. Hopefully it won't take me another year to come out with a part 3, but if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below and I will try my best to answer them. I have responded to, I'm pretty sure, every single comment on the first video. It has like 700 comments and 350 of those comments are mine because you say something, I say something, you say something, I say something. So half the comments on that video are mine. I do respond to my comments. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I will try my best to answer them. But that is all for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was helpful. If it was, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you think your friends will enjoy this video, be sure to share it with them. All my social media links will be down below in case you want to follow me on there. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make new videos every Monday, and I'll see you next Monday with a new video.